Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new documentary, Orwell, 2 plus 2 equals 5. And this is Raoul Peck's documentary, narrated by Damian Lewis, who is Orwell through this documentary. And this documentary is the ultimate and comprehensive documentary film about the exceptional writer George Orwell, one of my favorite writers for sure, someone who wrote Animal Farm and 1984 and saw the rise of fascism and how these things will control these authoritarian elements. And this documentary is really impressive in terms of how this is all put together. I see people writing this off as some kind of basic video essay, and I feel like missing the subtlety and the craft of how impressively put together this is. This film is extremely well edited, and I think that really works as you see video of Orwell at times, and even like this one interaction with like a small 8-year-old boy just giving this very frank perspective on the world was interesting to watch. But in general, I feel like this film is one that, as you navigate and explore through here, you see how his very prophetic perspective on the world has captured what is really happening across the world, especially in the United States right now. And it's an interesting balance as it intercuts films and film adaptations of his work that express his ideas that are being told, because you do get these videos of Orwell occasionally, but mostly these are like essays and writings that Damian Lewis brings to life, and he does such a fantastic job of narrating this film and bringing those thoughts and ideas to life on screen. And the film's, like I said, very well edited in terms of how it chooses what media to show that captures these ideas, these thoughts, these warnings, to be frank, and also how it relates to all of these different conflicts and things going on in the world over the past few decades, whether it's the Bush administration going into Iraq, or how, like, January 6th, and all of these different elements and all these other rising authoritarian regimes across the world at the moment, seeing that in the United States as well, and how he predicted all of these things, how all of these things in 1984 brought about this, and how we're seeing that in action being utilized by our politicians today. And there's a few montages here. There's one in particular with white supremacists, and the music and the editing and how it's all put together was so impactful. It just had this weight to it that was also quite terrifying to watch. And you have all of these elements, these montages, these little pieces, like elements of flair in terms of this visual storytelling of, showing all this data, all these perspectives through these moving and dynamic graphics too. This is, sure, if you boil it down to it, it is a video essay about George Orwell and his writings and his ideas. But this is so well put together and has such an impressive blueprint. And I saw people saying it's like, it doesn't have any depth, it's just showing the obvious. It's like, the things that are going on in the world today aren't as obvious to everybody. And I feel like if you spend most of your time looking up like articles or videos or watching clips or spending time on social media focusing on all the crazy things going on in the world, sure, this isn't going to be as obvious to you. But there's still millions of people that if you sat this in front of them, it's just like a lot of this would be very shocking to them. The unfortunate thing is I feel like a lot of people who could really benefit from watching this would probably just write it off and say this is slander and this is BS. But then it also reinforces some of the elements that it shows in the film in terms of how we just get engulfed in these cults of personality and give up our freedoms and our rights to this these authoritarian leaders that are popping up all around the world today. And this film is so timely. George Orwell's ideas and writings are timelier than ever. And this is quite the impactful, extremely well put together, and affecting cinematic experience that just really puts it all into context. Those are my thoughts on Orwell 2 plus 2 equals 5. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.